Streaming all across the country, from Washington State to South Beach and the Northeast to the deserts of Arizona, to dive into all things football. You're listening to the B&E Podcast. Here's your hosts, Ed Donaldson and Brandon Simpson.
International football is back. We've got 5 divisional matchups as well. Rematch of the January NFC wild card with Packers and Eagles as well. Week 10 is here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to it. Ed, how you feeling?
I'm feeling all right, man. Looking forward to these games this weekend, seeing how they go. How about you? How's everything going with you, man?
Same here, doing good. It's Purple Friday, but I'm not wearing purple today, so yeah.
I see. Can you let us know why you got the Drew Brees jersey on?
Because Drew Brees is going to Fox as a sports analysis. He's taking over for Mark Sanchez. We all know what happened with him. Drew Brees is one of my probably my top 10 quarterbacks to watch and favorite of all time. Just a bad man. And there's a little bit more to that I'll comment later on after the opening drive. But yeah, let's get to it if you're good.
Yes, sir. Let's get this opening drive started. Commanders linebacker Frankie Louvu won't be suspended a game for repeated violations of hip drop tackles. Instead, he'll be fined $100,000. Cardinals quarterback Jacoby Brissett will get his 4th straight start Sunday against Seattle. Kyler Murray has been placed on IR. CJ Stroud is out for the Texans, and Davis Mills will get the start for Houston. Steelers have signed wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling to their practice squad. Panthers running back Rico Dowdle was fined for his 2-pump celebration against the Packers. Jets linebacker Quincy Williams has been demoted from his starting role. Antonio Brown, everyone, extradited from Dubai to U.S. on an attempted murder charge that happened early this year in Miami. The incident. The Rams are making a kicker change, everyone, elevating Harrison Mevis from the practice squad. Shedeur Sanders is back at QB number 2 against the Jets. The Raiders have fired special teams coordinator Tom McMahon. McMahon need to take Daniel Carson with him. Colts D tackle DeForest Buckner has been placed on injured reserve. Jaden Daniels, everyone, will not need surgery on his elbow, thank God, and the team plans to reevaluate his status during his bye week. Mark Sanchez will not return as Fox Sports analyst. He's been let go. Drew Brees will be taking his place starting Sunday. And Cowboys defensive end, unfortunately, passed away, died Thursday morning in apparent suicide. Rest in peace to him. Send my prayers to the Cowboys organization and definitely Marshawn Nealon's family. I was shocked to see that news when I woke up Thursday. It's bad, man. Feel bad for that whole situation. Real quick before we get started, just the Jaden Daniels things. From my perspective, I hope he gets another opportunity to play this year. I know he's been banged up a lot this season. You can call it a sophomore slump or whatever. Injuries all over the place. I know he's been banged up a lot, but I would like to see him on the field again if possible. I think he needs to go back out there and just continue to play and continue to get experience in NFL and just dealing with what he's got to deal with. And hopefully it prepares him to be better next year. And you never know. I mean, we've had situations before where we're 3-6, 3 and whatever, and we go on a win streak. I doubt it'll happen this year just because, don't get me started on the team, but I really want to see Jaden Daniels back out this year. So let's see how that goes.
I actually feel like it's best to shut him down. Honestly, I don't feel like y'all are going to the playoffs at this point. And even if y'all do, it's likely that y'all will not make the Super Bowl. No offense. So I think we're heading into week 10. He won't be back at the earliest, week 13, because your bye week is in week 12. They say they're going to reevaluate at that point. But back to the Drew Brees situation. I don't know if y'all remember when Drew Brees played for the Chargers. He had an elbow, shoulder type injury, arm injury. He left the field in a sling with his right arm like this. And, it was his throwing arm. And he went on to have a Hall of Fame career, switching teams with the New Orleans Saints. I don't want Jaden to leave Washington. I'd rather see him play there and finish his career there. But there's there's hope. You know what I'm saying? We don't anticipate it being a season-ending injury. Obviously, they didn't say that. But, I don't think we've seen a quarterback have an injury like that in that body part since Drew Brees. I remember from the quarterback position. So yeah, Drew Brees came back and lit it up, as we all know, in New Orleans, won a Super Bowl and everything. Again, going to end up in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, there is hope for Jaden Daniels moving forward. There's a lot of stuff you need to improve around him, like you say, but there is hope for him. All right. What a sleeper Thursday night in Denver. The Broncos pulled out a 10-7 win over the Raiders. Denver is now 8-2, Ed.
Yeah, a sleeper. I was falling asleep left and right during this game. It was very ugly, defensive-minded affair. 15 punts. I mean, more punts than both teams scored points. Geno Smith was getting sacked left and right. I think he got sacked 6 times. As you see, scrolling across the screen, the stats at the bottom. Just not a good game for him. I mean, they kept at one point they were panning over and showing Kenny Pickett with his helmet on. I'm thinking to myself, okay, y'all don't like Geno Smith. Okay, his plays are bad. But what y'all think Kenny Pickett's going? You think he's going to come out there and win the game? Yeah, right. Give me a break. No offense to Kenny Pickett, but come on now. Let's be serious. And as far as the Broncos, man, they 8-2 now, leading the AFC West, finding ways to win games, but that offense is kind of concerning. It's second week, in my opinion, where the offense has been sluggish. I know Bo Nix talked about it after the game where he says, we got to get some juice out there, especially when that defense is playing well. And another game without Pat Surtain. They are going against the lowly Raiders right now, who's only got Brock Bowers and Jinty out there to do anything, in my opinion. But overall, man, good win for the Broncos, specifically that defense. They kind of got lucky. The Raiders had their chances. I talked about Carlson needed to go out his way too with Tom McMahon because he missed a 48-yard field goal that would have tied the game and changed the dynamic of the game. But he missed a field goal. Raiders were Raiders, and they one of those teams where fans, you won't be surprised seeing them in the crowd with paper bags over their head just because the team stinks. And as far as the Geno situation, I don't know. They could bench him, but honestly, I think he's better than Kenny Pickett. I can't remember. I think Aiden O'Connell's on the team too. I think he's better than both of them, in my opinion. A lot of the times, like he had a play last night, he threw the ball to Jinty. It wasn't right in front of him, but it was like right here, and it bounced off his hands, and it got picked off. You can say, Geno throws a lot of interceptions. Well, not all of his interceptions are created equal. He ain't just throwing it straight to defenders. Sometimes it's bouncing off his teammates' hands. So it's just unfortunate for him because I like Geno Smith. I thought he turned his career around with the Seahawks. Now to see him with the Raiders stinking it up is just like, damn. But yeah, man, the Broncos, they got to figure out their offense if they really want to make some noises. The Chargers are 6-3 now. Even though the Chiefs are 5-4, you never can count them out. So we'll see how they look going forward with the rest of the year. Brandon, your thoughts?
Yeah, y'all probably thought I was crazy when I said this Denver offense is like a push lawnmower, man. You got to prime it like 10 times, hope it starts up. They are so slow getting off in these games this year, man. I'd be hot if I was a Broncos fan. 9 drives without first downs. That's 9 3-and-outs Thursday night. And again, you mentioned the penalties. They also had more penalties than they did first downs. Couldn't get anything going through the air. The run game did do a little something, but it was their defense to thank for this win. They was already coming into this game leading the league in sacks. They got 6 more. They got an interception, 5 tackles for losses, 3 passes defense, 11 quarterback hits. And that's, again, all without Pat Surtain, the second out there. Hufanga and Bonita, I think they deserve a good amount of credit for leading this defense on the front end and the back end. But on the other side, I think got to give some acknowledgement to their performance. They rattled Bo Nix. Again, very slow start for Denver, so that that factored into that game plan, and the players on that Raiders defense there kept it close, and they did make a few plays here and there. So against a team that was, I think, leading the AFC overall heading into this game at the top of the conference. They definitely are now. They got a 1-game lead on Indianapolis heading into the weekend. But Broncos lucky to have won this game. They're now 5-0 at home, and again 8-2 on the season. Got a pretty good cushion there in the AFC West. All right, two NFC West teams coming off of wins against opponents they should have beaten. Will now face each other at Levi's Stadium Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Ed?
Yeah, last time these two teams played against each other, 49ers took it into overtime. Mac Jones came out there. Him and Kendrick Bourne had a party against the Rams. Kendrick Bourne had like 142 yards, 10 receptions, something crazy like that. I think it'll be a little bit different this time, in my opinion. There was a little controversy at the end of the game as far as the play calling, where the Rams had a chance at the end of the game. They didn't run the ball, I believe, if I can remember correctly. It was like 3 straight passes.
Yes.
And, a lot of fans are like, come on, man, we're at the goal line. Let's at least one run play. I'm thinking it'll be a little different this time. Matt Stafford has been on an MVP type level. I'm leaning towards the Rams in this game. Looking across the screen right now, I think Vegas got them favored by almost 5 points. Spreads at 4.5 points. I like the Rams on this one. I think they'll split the series this year against the 49ers. I just think the injuries right now for the 49ers on that defensive side, no Bosa, no Warner. I think that's going to be, a difference maker in my opinion. Now, these are divisional opponents. They play each other well. But for now, I'm leaning towards the Rams. I think Kyron Williams will have a better game. And Puka Nacua is going to be back too. I like the Rams in this one. I think the Rams will have Mac Jones. They won't. I think they honestly got caught by surprise a little bit with Mac Jones in his performance. I think he'll play not as good against the Rams. I think the Rams defense will be a little bit better and get after him more. I think Christian McCaffrey's going to do his thing. George Kittle maybe a little bit too, but I don't think him and Kendrick Bourne will do the same type of things. And I think, the Rams will win this one. What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I was wrong about Matthew Stafford heading into this season. I thought his back issues would linger. They have not bothered him, at least his play to this point. He's been on fire, leading the NFL in passing yards per game and passing touchdowns overall. So if I'm the 49ers and Robert Saleh, defensive coordinator, back for his second term, how do we slow down this LA offense? Pressure is the answer to that. Easier said than done because San Fran is last in NFL in sacks per game. So it might become more of a shootout, in my opinion, or the Rams could, get ahead early if, number 9, Matthew Stafford has time to throw. San Fran's offense on the other side of things, they got to prepare for Byron Young and Nate Landman on top of everybody else there. Landman had 14 tackles last week, in the first matchup that they played just a few weeks ago, and he's one of the best off-ball linebackers in the National Football League. I learned that when they played us in Baltimore not too long ago. He is all over the place. Again, we all remember what happened in that Thursday night football matchup. Bourne had a career night. Defense had a huge fourth down stop there in overtime. Bourne's production, he hasn't nearly been as good since that game, that first game against the 49ers, against the Rams. But I think part of that is because George Kittle is back, and they've really been getting Christian McCaffrey involved in, the run game and the pass game like the Swiss Army knife that he is. But I'm leaning towards the Rams. I agree with you. I think they have a little bit more at stake, in my opinion. They've got to win to keep pace with Seattle. Seattle has a lead in this division. And nobody expected San Fran to have a 6-3 record either at this point with all their injuries. So, yeah, I think LA needs to win this to avoid the season sweep, obviously. Give me the Rams over the Niners there in Santa Clara.
All right, let's talk about your Ravens, man. They're taking on the Vikings in Minnesota. Brandon, how you feeling about this game?
Yeah, man, let's go back nearly 12 years ago. Vikings at Ravens, Baltimore down 12-7, just over 2 minutes left. They called it the Snowball game. 5 touchdowns, 3 lead changes, 125 yards in just the final 125 seconds to play. Needed a win to keep our playoffs hopes alive, and we delivered in that game. Got the win there against the other purple team in the National Football League. Now to Sunday, I think another game of old school football. We need to have that mindset, one play at a time, one drive at a time. Like I mentioned, heading into last week's game against Miami, on offense, we got to finish drives, keep the ball ahead of the sticks. This Minnesota defense, man, that first and second down is going to be key because we don't want to be in third down and 6. We don't want to be in third down and 5. We want to be third down and 4 and less because the crowd is going to be into it. And that's when they start blitzing all over the place, man. I think Mark Andrews is going to have a good game, at least some early targets early on. He's only 18 yards away from becoming our franchise leader in receiving yards. And we also got the tight ends involved last week. He had 2 touchdowns. I think Kohler had a touchdown as well. Likely had a few plays. He didn't score, but he was in there as well. And then Minnesota's defense on the other side of the thing, they're coming off a game where Sam LaPorta had a pretty big performance. I think he had 97 yards and I believe a touchdown. He kind of stormed into the end zone on that touchdown play as well. I'm expecting us to feed Derrick Henry, Keaton Mitchell as well. I think because Keaton, with these fast linebackers they got, he could be more of a matchup nightmare going east to west. We know Derrick Henry's that grinded out, that hammer. I call him the finisher, close out the games with him. But I think Keaton Mitchell will help eliminate some of that pre-snap blitzes that Flores loves to showcase there. Hopefully we get an improved hopefully we've been focusing this week on silent count and communication because US Bank Stadium is one of the hardest places to play. They get it started with that loud gong or whatever the hell they call that thing, and they get a former player to come back and get the crowd hyped up right before the game. So communication got to be a key. Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphrey, and Kyle Hamilton got to be on their A game, making sure the guys are lined up in the right position, make sure they're lined up in the right position, and they know the plays as well. But back to their defense, linebacker Blake Cashman is the guy that I'm going to be watching out for. 14 tackles last week. He had a forced fumble on David Montgomery, I believe it was. He'll probably be the one that'll be spying on LJ. I always have my eye on Harrison Smith as well, the veteran there on the Minnesota defense. I think, he's always around the football as well. So we got to be alert for him. On our offense side of the ball, on our defensive side of the ball, they call him Jettas, man. Mr. Jefferson. Got to know where he is on every play. It's hard not to know before the snap because of his size, but once that ball is snapped, we know that he can make any type of catch. He can run any route. He can do just about anything at the wide receiver position. I like Nate Wiggins on him more than Nwuze and Marlon, but having the extra guy watching him, kind of keep an eye on him, if not double teaming him, will, I think, be beneficial as well. I'd rather have Jordan Addison beat us or have a good game more than Justin Jefferson, honestly. I could just see Justin Jefferson looking at J.J. McCarthy saying, like Randy Moss used to say to Dante Culper, say, throw it up there, Dante. Golly, they can't jump with me. We don't need that, man. Shut him down. Get some physicality on him at the line of scrimmage. Do something, man. Another game where our pass rush needs to show up, make a difference. This is part of the reason why we went out and traded for Drummond Jones since our last game. 4.5 sacks with Tennessee. He's fast off the ball. He's good with his hands. And, of course, he's a quarterback hunter. As I mentioned, more than 4 sacks in Tennessee, a place that, they got a good defense. But, I hadn't even really heard much about him before he came, before we traded for him. He's got to go find J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy is I thought he was going to win comeback player of the year. He's kind of struggled out the gates. But at the same time, you can kind of say he is a rookie. And he's only played 4 games. We play really good against rookies. I've highlighted that since we've been on this podcast, man. Especially special teams, man. Minnesota, they play a lot of close games. So I think this unit will play a key role as well. They had I think they had a block kick last week or a block punt, something like that. And I think they had a kickoff return, but that got called back. Tyler Loop, He's going to be under the microscope as well. This will be his toughest test so far. Again, the crowd there at US Bank Stadium, there's no wind or anything like that, but the crowd is going to be in his ear. He's got to be on point as well, the snapper and the holder as well. Jordan Stout, the punter, our punter, keep doing what you're doing, man. He's like best in the league at putting punts inside the 20-yard line. We're going to need as many of them as possible as well. Again, because we can't give Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, the tight end Hawkinson, we can't give them a short field. I'm not sure if the running back is going to play. I think he's banged up for them. I think it's, who's it? I can't remember off the top of my head. Let's see. Jordan, is it Jordan Mason? No, it's not Jordan Mason. Who's the running back out?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, thank you. I think he's questionable. He's got a shoulder AC joint. But yeah, all in all, I like our odds in this game. And to me, I think they haven't done well against mobile quarterbacks. Minnesota's defense and power run games, they have losses against Atlanta, mobile quarterback, Philadelphia, mobile quarterback, and a good run game. And the Chargers can run it as well. And Justin Herbert can get out there with his legs as well. So we saw what happened in those games. We need to have the same type of outcome. Again, can't let their best player, Jettas, beat us. The offense got to finish those drives, got to stay ahead of the sticks and win the turnover battle. I think we'll get the win. Ed, how do you feel about this one?
When you were talking about 12 years ago, I could have, sorry to go off topic a little bit, I could have sworn you were going to talk about the one game because I think it was against the Vikings. Me and you were texting back in the day talking trash. I thought y'all were going to lose because your team, like, it was late in the game and the team returned a kick it was either for a punt return or a kick return. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And they kick it off to the Ravens and y'all ran it back for a touchdown. You can't fire back at me. I want to say that was against the Vikings. Was that against the Vikings?
Yeah, that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was snowing. Yeah.
That was that game?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
16, I believe.
Okay. I don't know why I was thinking that was another game, but yeah, I was just thinking about that. Yeah, that was definitely some funny times. But back to this game, man. I'm leaning towards y'all in this one. We got to see how it goes. Only thing I'm concerned with for your defense is, as you mentioned, Jettas, Addison, and Hawkinson. Kind of still concerned about your rushing defense. I don't know who the running back is going to be out there. I wasn't aware of the Aaron Jones situation, if he's not playing or not. But even against the Dolphins, and Devin A-Chain is a really good back, but y'all were letting him get off a little bit. I think for the year so far, y'all are allowing running backs to have 4.6 yards per carry. I want to say the league average is about 4.4. So I'm kind of concerned about that. Other than that, though, I think y'all should win this game. Another game with Lamar back. These last couple of weeks, y'all defense is playing better as of late. And as you mentioned, y'all got Draymond Jones, J.J. McCarthy. All the games he's played, he's taken sacks. I want to say he's taken about 3+ sacks in all the games he played. And even against the Lions, I think they sacked him about 5 times. If y'all can get after him, I really like y'all chances as well. And as far as the offensive side of the ball for the Ravens, you got to look out for that Vikings pass rush. As you talk about all the time, Brian Flores got these exotic blitzes, and they can definitely get after the quarterback. I think they got about I can't remember the number of sacks they got right now, but I know they get after the quarterback a lot. So I need to see how Lamar deals with that pressure. And I want to say I think this is going to be a good game for Zay Flowers, because even though the Vikings defense is good as far as getting to the quarterback, as you mentioned, they do allow teams to get after them, especially with mobile quarterbacks. We saw, as you talked about, A.J. Brown and the Eagles, what they did. I think it was Isaiah Rodgers who got beat on a double move. They are very aggressive. Throw some double moves at these cornerbacks to see if they bite. I definitely see Zay Flowers. I think he's a pretty good route runner, and he's a speedy guy, burning Isaiah Rodgers or whoever's on him. And then Mark Andrews, like you said, that record he's close to breaking. I could definitely see him likely doing some things. But I want to see how you guys do against the run as far as allowing, their running backs, the Vikings running backs, how they're going to get off or not. If y'all can contain a run, I like your chances a lot. I really don't see J.J. McCarthy lighting it up. Like, he only threw for 165 yards last game. Don't get me wrong, he did, hit Justin Jefferson with a nice touchdown at the goal line, but he's not exactly lighting it up as far as passing the ball. I don't see him doing that against the Ravens, especially as y'all defense gets healthier and healthier in that secondary. Roquan Smith has been playing better. Kyle Hamilton is getting healthy again. He's starting to make plays as well. But I'm worried about the run a little bit and the Vikings pass rush. If that Vikings pass rush starts to get off, they can start making plays, turn the ball over. But other than that, I like y'all chances. And I think you mentioned Draymond Jones. I think we might hear his name a little bit because, like I said, McCarthy does get sacked, 3+ sacks in all of his games. Definitely see Draymond Jones making his debut with a sack against the Vikings. So give me the Ravens in this one. I think it'll be a good game, though. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's go over to the NFC side of NFC matchup. Eagles taking on the Packers in Green Bay. Monday Night Football. I really hope the Packers win this one because, the Eagles are a divisional opponent, even though I'm pissed at the Packers for whooping us like they did. But I want to go with the Packers in this one, but I just don't know, man. I'm leaning towards the Eagles for some reason. And just the way the Packers lost to Carolina, it could be, just that was that game. They underestimated their opponent. They're coming back now ready and prepared. But I just didn't like the way Jordan Love looked out there. And I'm thinking about the game last year. I think it was the opening game. The Packers played the Eagles too, and the Eagles won that game as well. So I could be wrong, but I'm leaning towards the Eagles in this one. I think A.J. Brown, if he's healthy, I think Devonta Smith will do some things out there against the Packers. And don't get me wrong, I like the Packers defense. So secondary guys, I like Xavier McKinney. He's a ball hawk these days. He's always got his nose around the ball. I like them a lot, but for some reason, I'm leaning towards the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts just finds ways to win these games. If it's running the ball or if it's throwing the ball, he seems to be in a situation now in his career where he just has everything figured out. He doesn't need to throw for 300 yards. He can throw for 120 yards and still win. And I'm leaning towards the Eagles on this one, but I hope the Packers win a bit. I think that loss to Tucker Kraft is going to be really a bad thing. I don't know if Matthew Golden is going to play because I know he went out last game, the rookie speedster running wide receiver with that shoulder injury, and they're still without Jaden Reed. And I think the Eagles right now, with the additions they got cornerback Matthew Carter, I think his name is. They got your boy Jair Alexander. They picked up a defensive guy, Jalen Phillips, too. I think this Eagles defense is going to be firing all cylinders now. I think these guys are going to come out there and play and make some noise. You're going to hear their names being called. So give me the Eagles in this one. But Lord, I hope I'm wrong. Jordan Love, can you please, play, flip the switch. One game, the switch is off. Turn the switch on this game. Christian Watson, Josh Jacobs, I need you to go crazy, but I just don't know. I don't think you Packers have enough, but I could be wrong. Michael Parsons, strip sack, fumble, touchdown. Do that. Maybe the Packers got a chance, but give me the Eagles. Brandon, how you thinking about this one?
Yeah, I feel like this game will come down to a pair of key factors, y'all. How will Green Bay's offense fare without Tucker Kraft? This will be their first full game without him. And which defense will force a mistake by the opposing offense? Again, Tucker Kraft lost for the season for Green Bay. So will someone like Romeo Doubs perhaps step up, Christian Watson, anybody out there? Because Tucker Kraft was leading the team in, I believe, in both receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. He had a great connection with Jordan Love. Forcing mistakes, man, it'll be easier said than done because both of these offenses have been really good at protecting the ball. So the defenses will have their hands full. Philadelphia's offense committed 3 turnovers in the National Football League so far, and that's tops, like the least. And then the Packers have committed the second fewest turnovers as well. On the other side of the thing, I think the ball carriers are going to play a huge factor in this one as well. We know what Saquon can do, but Josh Jacobs, he's been a touchdown machine. I think they got to utilize him in the red area, as I mentioned last week's game as well. Make sure your team comes out with 6 instead of 3 points, having to kick it. We know that kicker there in Green Bay is not very strong. So again, score the touchdowns, keep it on the ground when you're in that red area. I hate picking against Philly, man, and a well-rested Philly at that as well. They're coming off a bye week, but I think Green Bay's edge rushers will produce under the lights. They got to limit those short distance 3rd and 4th downs. We all know what the play call is going to be on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. Except for that, I think they played one game where they lined up with the brotherly shove, the tush push, whatever you want to call it, and they did the I think they just tossed it to Saquon and he ran in untouched on the left side. But 99% of the time it's that play. Forced a mistake or two by Jalen Hurts, and I think it'll be the difference. I'm going to go with Green Bay. Not confident, but I'm going to go with Green Bay in this one.
All right, definitely see what happens. All right, man. Patriots at the Bucks. See how this one goes. Patriots right now on a 6-game win streak. I say that to say this because you look at their opponents, right? I mean, the Bills, that's a good win. The Titans, come on. The Browns, I don't know. The Saints, Falcons, I mean, we see they're kind of in a downward trend. I'm saying that to say, their strength of schedule so far hasn't been exactly, gangbusters, but they're winning games. So I need to give them credit where credit's due. They are winning games. Drake May has been good in these games too. The only thing is, as you mentioned before, he's getting sacked a lot. And he's going against a Bucks team that has 25 sacks on the year with 8 games so far. So I want to see how he looks against a Bucks defense. In my opinion, that's not too bad. I think they're pretty good, actually. They get some sacks on the quarterbacks, and they can also turn the ball over. They got 12 turnovers over the year so far for the Bucks defense in 8 games. Jamel Dean, he's a cornerback that I like a lot. Antoine Winfield, one of the best safeties in the league, in my opinion. He's really good. And your boy Vita Vea, who reminds me of Haloti Ngata back in the day, he's good as well. I want to see how this Patriots offense looks against this Bucks defense. I'm not too sure how that matchup is going to go right now in my mind because I know I want to say Keyshawn Boots is out of this game. He hurt his hamstring last game for the Patriots. So that's a weapon that the Patriots won't have. So we got to see Stephon Diggs, Douglas, Demario Douglas, and those tight ends they got Hunter Henry include to step up. And I'm not sure if Ramondre Stevenson is going to be back because he was out the last game. I think he's dealing with a toe injury, if I'm not mistaken. So I need to see how this Bucks defense and this Patriots offense, how they clash and who's going to be able to control one another. At the same time, the Bucks offense, the first 6 weeks, they was smoking. They was going out there and doing their thing. Baker Mayfield, MVP type performances for those first 6 weeks. These last 2 weeks, though, man, they haven't been looking as good. I know injuries have a lot to do with that. Mike Evans is gone right now. Chris Godwin, I'm not sure he'll be back. Same for Bucky Irving. I don't think he's going to play this game. I know he's been missing a couple of practices. So I need to see who's going to step up. I know the rookie Ibuka has been playing well, but he's been banged up as late as the same. So I'm wondering how that's going to turn out. And if we see, Sterling Shepard, who's kind of old, but, he's still a true veteran, so he come out there and do his thing. Like the guy Tez Johnson too, but I need to see if this Bucks offense is going to continue this trend coming out of the bye where the offense hasn't been looking too good, or if they can get things back on track against this Patriots defense. And the Patriots defense, they're okay. Michael Penix, he threw 3 touchdowns against them. Drake London had a hell of a game against them, and that's against Christian Gonzalez, who I think is a really good cornerback as well. So I want to see how this matchup is going to go. Are the Patriots going to continue this win streak, or are they going to meet the buzzsaw on the Bucks? Right now, honestly, even though the Bucks offense has been looking too great as of late, I think they're going to, bring the Patriots back down to earth, in my opinion. I talked about the Patriots offense and the Bucks defense. I just like the Bucks defense a little bit more right now. And I like Baker Mayfield, too, a little bit more than I like Drake May. And I think those sacks are going to bite Drake May this game. If he's getting sacked a lot, I think this will be a game where he's running around scrambling, trying to make a play, or he doesn't see a defender coming, because there's some playmakers on this Bucks defense where they either force a fumble or force an interception, and the turnover, too, will swing the Bucks' way. So give me the Bucks in this one, man. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
So this low-key Tom Brady Bowl may turn into a deep ball contest. Drake May versus Baker Mayfield. I got to give the edge to Baker in that category. He has the better wide receivers, and he has a good tight end, Kate Otten, as well. On top of that, I think this Tampa Bay defensive line can have its way against the New England offensive line. Again, we talked about it, both of us. Drake May has taken down 6 times in the last game, 12 over the past 2 games. The Bucks, though, they're still trying to figure out a way to get healthy. Bucky Irvin, Chris Godwin, still trying to make their way back. They are out for this one. New England's defense will have to deal. They'll still have to deal with White, Tez Johnson, Emeka Ibuka. Now, I think the Patriots' defense is good. Definitely their run defense. So again, it'll be more of an aerial attack. I think that's how the Tampa Bay offense will try to attack this New England defense through the air. Key matchup for me: Stephon Diggs versus Jamel Dean. Diggs, he really got loose last week. He had Carter B in the stands with Robert Kraft. If y'all didn't see it, Dean, no, he has 3 interceptions, 6 passes defense, and 2 forced fumbles on the season. So he's stepping up to be one of their better corners out there. New England 4-0 on the road. Baker is 0-2 versus the Patriots. Something's got to give. But in the end, I feel like Todd Bowles and his defense will have something for this Josh McDaniels offense. I know Kirk Cousins doesn't play with either of these teams, but I remember watching the Netflix series Quarterback last season, and Kirk Cousins said it's something about playing Todd Bowles' defense that always gives you fits. And I think, again, Todd Bowles will have his guys ready on the defensive side of the ball. Winfield, Vita Vea, those guys, the linebacker core. I think they'll lead the charge in stopping this 6-game win streak for the New England Patriots when they come to Tampa Bay on Sunday. All right, everyone, before we move forward, this episode is brought to you by Premium, a CBD and wellness company. Check out their full line of CBD-infused products, which make great stocking stuffers for the upcoming holiday season, perfect for athletes, weekend warriors, soccer moms, and even armchair quarterbacks. They have CBD-infused honey, which is a personal favorite, as well as tinctures in mint and regular flavor. Most importantly, they are veteran and women-owned, so come get some of this sweet temptation and taste the premium difference. Use code B and E for 15% off your order. Their website is www.premium.com. That's PREHEMIUM.com. And now back to our show. We've got several other Week 10 matchups on the calendar. International football is back. As I mentioned, we got the Falcons and Colts from Germany. The early window will open with Giants and Bears, the Bills at Dolphins, Browns at Jets, Saints at Panthers, Jacksonville at Houston. Late window has Arizona and Seattle. Rematch of the NFC divisional game, Lions and Commanders from Northwest Stadium. Steelers and Chargers will close it out on Sunday Night Football. We already talked about the Monday Night Football game. Ed, which of these matchups you'll be looking forward to?
I'm looking at this Arizona and Seattle game. I need to see Seattle get the doors blown off of them. I know that's not going to happen, but I'm still mad about how they beat the hell out of us. My Commanders, definitely going to be looking at the Lions Commanders game. I was talking to a coworker at work the other day. I saw he had the Lions lanyard on. I was like, "Hey man, can you take it easy on us?" He just said no, simple and flat out. And I don't blame him. I'm sure he's pissed about losing to the Vikings. And they're going to want to take their frustrations out on our Commanders. Lord have mercy. Another game we're looking at is the Falcons-Colts game in Germany. Another damn international game with a 6:30 start. So I'm going to try to set my alarm, wake up for that one. Because I don't know, man. The Colts, they lose a game like that against the Steelers. It's like, I wonder if there's more of that to come. Because like you said, I think you texted me during that game, the real Daniel Jones showed up. We see a lot of Daniel Jones, and most of it is not good. I know he had one good year with the Giants where they made the playoffs. It looks like he'll make the playoffs again with the Colts this year, but we've seen a lot of games where Daniel Jones stunk it up. So I'm wondering if he's going to fall back, him and the team fall back down to earth or not. But I think the addition of Sauce Gardner is going to help that defense out a lot. So I'm wondering how this team is going to play now. And I hope Jonathan Taylor gets back on track for fantasy football purposes. And then definitely going to take a look at this Giants-Bears game. I kind of want the Giants to win this one, even though they're a division rival. So we'll see how that goes. And Steelers-Chargers Sunday Night Football. Steelers are so weird, man. I don't know. It's like I didn't think they was going to beat the Colts, and they came out there. The defense, all of a sudden, it was good. So I'm wondering if they can, ruin the Chargers' hopes in this game as well. We'll see. And then Panthers at Saints. Panthers, that's another team they're like the Browns last year, where I say I can't bet against the Browns anymore because they always prove me wrong. I don't know why I feel like the Saints are going to beat the Panthers, but I shouldn't think that. I don't know. But those are the games I'm really keeping an eye on right now. How about you, Brandon?
Falcons and Colts, man. Colts offense first 8 weeks, they had 4 turnovers, 6 turnovers last week, as you mentioned, against Pittsburgh. Plus, they traded away a pretty good wide receiver and A. Mitchell out there. I'll be watching to see Michael Penix and how he fares in his first international game as well. Giants and Bears, I'm pretty sure the Giants defense is going to make Caleb Williams look like a Hall of Famer, as well as Roma Dunze. Uh, they just struggle on that side of the ball. Jacksonville and Houston, I think it's pretty good. And I know it's still early. It's pretty good playoff implications in this one. Houston 3-5, a loss can definitely hamper them, especially against a divisional foe. Jacksonville is looking like they could possibly sneak in the playoffs. We'll see how it goes. I know that AFC West is crowded, but again, playoff implications on the line in this one. That Arizona-Seattle game, this may be the best game of the week, man. Brissett, he's looked decent. Seattle's offense now has another toy in Rashid Shaheed, so we'll see how that impacts JSN, Cooper Kupp. Let's see how this trio looks together out there for one Sam Darnold. And still Chargers from LA, man. Go Chargers, man. We need this one for the Ravens' sake. Jim Harbaugh, help your brother out, literally. Your brother, John Harbaugh. I know it's going to feel like a road game for the Chargers because Steelers fans travel, but I need y'all to pull this one out on Sunday Night Football. Those will be the games I'm watching. By the way, the Bengals, Cowboys, Titans, and Chiefs all on the bye week.
Got you. Let's get into our parlays of the week. As I say, each week it gets harder and harder, man. Fucking Panthers always ruin it for me, so I'm gonna leave that one alone this week. Give me the Lions over the Commanders. Yeah, I know. Give me the Lions over the Commanders. Give me shouldn't do it, but give me the Bears over the Giants. Give me Commanders over the Lions, Bears over the Giants. I really want to do the Browns over the Jets. I don't think it's smart of me to do, but I am going to do that one. Give me the Bucks over the Patriots as well. And I kind of want to bet on your I'm gonna bet on your Ravens, man. Give me the Ravens over the Vikings and give me the Rams over the Niners. Fuck it. Give me the Rams, the Ravens, give me the Bucks, give me the Browns, Lord, and give me the Lions and the Bears. That's my parlay of the week, everyone. Good luck. I'm gonna need it.
You might be good on that Browns game because again, the Jets traded away Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner, so it's not very many guys left on that defense right now. They might let that Browns offense look like really good. They got a pretty good rookie tight end. They got a rookie running back doing all right. Gabriel's, he ain't necessarily getting better, but he's playing more. So they may mess around and win there at MetLife. I've got though Chicago over the Giants, Buffalo over Miami. Buffalo beat the hell out of them. I think it was week 2 down there, week 3, somewhere like that, in Buffalo. And then Carolina over New Orleans. I'll rock with Carolina this week. See how they do me.
Yeah, they'll probably do you good. You picking a win. I always pick against them to lose, so they'll probably do good for you. We'll see how it goes, though. But that's going to do it for another episode of the Breaking and Entering podcast, everyone. As always, want to thank everybody who takes time out of their day to watch our show. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Just look for Breaking and Entering podcast or B&E podcast. You can follow us on X or Twitter, podcast B&E, and follow us on Instagram as well, B&E podcast. Y'all have a good day out there. Have a good week. My Wizards have not been looking good so far. I was expecting that, though. Lord have mercy, Washington sports, man. Yeah, that's all I got, though. Y'all take it easy out there.